Kingdom Plantae. Classification. Classification is a method of organizing species into groups. The modern system of classification can be complex and include 8 levels. This modern system began the work of Carolus Linnaeus in 1735. Linnaeus based his classification of species solely on shared characteristics. Scientists have refined the system using molecular and DNA evidence. For this presentation, we are going to use Linnaeus' approach and classify organisms using visible characteristics. Plants versus animals. Most large organisms are either plants or animals. The distinction between the plant and animal kingdoms is based primarily on the sources of nutrition and the capability of movement. Pictured on the left is an example of Kingdom Plantae, hibiscus, and on the right we have an example from Kingdom Animalia, the zebra. Kingdom Plantae. Plants are multicellular, photosynthetic eukaryotes. Members of the Plantae kingdom are further grouped based on how they carry water, vascular and non-vascular. All plants are autotrophs, meaning they make their own food. Plants are very diverse in their structure. On this slide we have a concept map showing how the plant kingdom is divided. The two main divisions are non-vascular plants and vascular plants. The non-vascular plants do not have tissues that transport water and nutrients, but the vascular plants do have tissues that transport water and nutrients. The non-vascular plants are more simple in form, including the mosses and liverworts. The vascular plants can be divided into 2 categories. 1, they produce seeds, and 2, they do not produce seeds. Non-vascular plants. Mosses and their relatives are non-vascular plants. These plants rely on water for reproduction and must grow low to the ground to absorb water and nutrients. 2 examples shown here are broom moss on the left and liverwort on the right. Vascular plants. Vascular plants have vascular tubes to transport water and food. Non-vascular plants do not have vascular tubes. The vascular plants contain specialized tissues, the xylem and the phloem, for moving water and nutrients throughout the plant, much like the human circulatory system. Vascular tissues. The xylem is mainly responsible for transporting water up the roots. The phloem transports sugars, or sap, from the leaves to parts of the plant that do not undergo photosynthesis, such as the branches and roots. Vascular non-seeded plants. Club mosses and ferns are examples of seedless vascular plants. Vascular tissues allow them to grow higher above the ground. Pictured here on the left is bristly club moss, and on the right, bracken fern. Seeded plants. In some vascular plants, fertilization results in the development of a seed. Seeds protect the plant embryo until conditions are right for development. Seeded, non-flowering plants are called gymnosperms. Flowering plants are called angiosperms. Gymnosperms versus angiosperms. Conifers are gymnosperms. They do not produce flowers. Deciduous trees are angiosperms. They rely on flowers for reproduction. Angiosperms. Angiosperms have dominated the land for over 100 million years, and there are about 250,000 known species. Most of our foods come from a few hundred domesticated species of flowering plants. The angiosperms are broken down into 2 classes, the monocots and the dicots. Monocots and dicots. The term monocot and dicot refer to the first leaves that appear on the embryo of the plant, the cotyledon. Monocot has 1 cotyledon, dicot has 2 cotyledons. Examples of monocots. These plants include orchids, bamboo, lilies, palms, and grasses. Examples of dicots. These plants can include fruit trees, magnolia tree, grapevines, and pumpkin patch. Monocot versus dicot seed. Shown here are cross sections of the monocots and the dicots. Again, monocots have one cotyledon, dicots have two cotyledons. Leaf veins. Monocots have parallel leaf veins, while dicots have branch leaf veins. Stem vascular bundles. The vascular tissue, which transports water and nutrients up the stem of the plant, has different arrangements in monocots and dicots. Monocots have bundles and complex arrangements, while dicots have vascular bundles in a ring. Flower petal arrangements. The floral petals on each plant differ in total number. Monocots have petals in multiples of 3, while dicots have petals in multiples of 4 or 5. Roots. Monocots have a fibrous root system, while dicots typically have one taproot.